As the first humans to ever venture out this far into the frontier.
Too fast! Extensive portside damage.
Get out!
I thought we were both goners.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. I'm Operation DX, and welcome to episode 23 of my Planet Explorers version 0.72 Let's Play. During the previous episode, we mined a bunch of resources in preparation for building our colony. We're actually going to do more of the same during this episode, but we mined all the stuff we need at this location, which we're at the meteorite crater. Now I'm going to head off to Camp Carter because we actually need to get salt from Grady's shop, and there may be some other quest stuff we need to finish there. I'm not sure. So we're going to head in that direction, and if we notice any of those plants on top of the mushroom rocks that we need to make the black light pigment, we'll probably stop and grab a couple. In fact, I see some right now, so we'll park on top of this mushroom rock to grab a few of these. And I can't remember how many of the blacklight pigments we need to actually craft one light. I don't think it's too many. And like I said, once we just need a few of these really to do this. So it might be kind of overkill. I'm not sure, but this also helps to get some of the seeds too. So we'll always have these kind of things if we need to do this kind of stuff later. Lights are always kind of a big thing for me. I think it really helps with the aesthetic of your colony, and it just makes things look cool at night and stuff. So that's definitely why I want to go ahead and grab this stuff. My plan is to deploy a mix of the blue light sticks with the light blocks. So I'll do my best to make it look cool. It especially looks neat too when you have lights inside of buildings and you have the glass and stuff, and at night when you see it, it looks cool. I like it. It has a cool aesthetic to it. Now, I'm not sure if that kind of stuff has an effect on frame rates and all that stuff, but I haven't really noticed any problems, and I've done some pretty decently crazy stuff, so that's why during previous episodes, I'm like, I want to see different kinds of lights and light stuff. Definitely a fan of that kind of thing. Well, you can see my crafting list is actually ridiculous right now, and I have a lot of things that I haven't even looked at, but okay, looks like we can actually craft these. We can't craft a ton of them. Oh, I was mistaken. We only need 3 items. We don't need 4. Interesting. However, like I said, we only crafted a few, and now we have a crap ton of it. So, I think we're good. I think we're good to go. Where did I park my freaking craft at? See, it's on a slope. That would have been bad if I was searching for that for too long. Alright. Onward to the Carter camp. We shouldn't need to stop anymore for this kind of thing. This kind of nonsense. Off we go. Yeah, I can't get enough of this vehicle. I love it. It's cool. And look how fast, man. We're just moving. We're zipping around the map just so easily. Alright, so we're going to land at Camp Carter, talk to Grady, see if there's any other quests we can complete. I didn't finish the quest for Chen for the monster spawner yet. Which is kind of interesting, but of course we didn't spend a ton of time fighting things in the grasslands, but we're really buff now. We can actually do that really easily. Although he just sells the monster spawner. If we really want the monster spawner, we could just buy it from him. So you can see that he has a question mark, so he has a quest that needs to be finished. But we need to talk to Grady. Hi, Grady. I need to buy something off your shop, particularly salt. And like I said before, as long as you don't buy all of it, it will still show up in the shop. But if we buy all 99 units or 100 units that she has on her, that'll never be there again. So we got to be careful there. We come back a little while later, like let a day pass or whatever, and she'll have a full stock again. So that's pretty much all we need to do at Camp Carter. So I guess I'm going to hop right back on my hovercraft, and we're off to mine some aluminum. Now, when we talked to one of the characters, I believe, was it Sarah in the Martian camp, telling us about an aluminum spot in the mountains? I'm actually not sure what she was referencing, But we're actually going to head to the aluminum spot we marked way earlier on in the game, towards where we fought the red coronas. So we're going to go and get that there. It's actually really easy to get to. It shouldn't take us too long, but we need the aluminum to complete, one, that quest, and we need it for fertilizer pellets, so it is definitely something that is important to us. So in addition to collecting resources to build our colony, I also want to have the ability to garden too when we get to that point, and we'll be able to just do a whole lot of stuff at once. Alright, so we're getting close there. It's that little mushroom rock there, and there's where David Sly was supposed to be, and we actually haven't heard anything about that. And as we look down, you can kind of see some spots in the sand where there might be some petroleum if we ever needed to mine more of that. But the first area where we mined it when we got our car, there's actually still a ton there, and you just need to mine that for just a second, and you're way good. Before, when we mined the petroleum, we actually were using, I think, iron tools. So if we were to go do it now with the gold tools, we would actually get a lot more. So if we ever need more of that, we can just go back to that original spot. Now, I'm noticing as we come down here, there are a lot of aggressive, hostile species. So usually I would just let my craft sit out here as I dig down. But they will, in fact, attack this thing. So I'm actually going to put it away. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Not get on, get. Alright, so we've got that back in our inventory, and now I'm going to break out the scanner and see where that aluminum spot was. It shouldn't take us too long to get down here, and there is a huge, huge spot here. Oh, is this the whole thing? I didn't think it was that small. I actually thought it was bigger. But that's still a lot of aluminum. That's a crap ton, dude. Alright. Now I just need to put myself in a good position, and I'm going to use the same mining technique that I used to mine the gold to get down there quickly. It looks like I've got a nice little vein sticking out here, so we should hit that very, very fast. In fact, in this particular area, it's mostly dirt, so we'll be using our shovel, but again, I was told that I could use just my shovel to mine everything. And again, it just doesn't feel right, so we'll just we'll mine down until we hit the aluminum, and then we'll start using our pickaxe. Now, in this version of the game, 0.72, something else I was talking about is, like, if you mine down too far, you'll start hitting water, and we actually are near the coast, so we probably couldn't, if we wanted to, mine out this entire aluminum spot, as we would probably start running into the water. It's kind of a non-issue, though. We're not really going to dig down all that far. I can't remember how many pellets we get per unit of aluminum. I think our bigger problem is sulfate. And you can see here, like, we're digging down, we are going to get a little bit of sulfate. So that's actually going to help with our fertilizing making process. Because not only do you have to craft the fertilizer, you have to then turn the fertilizer into fertilizer pellets for the fertilizer gun that we're going to get when we finish off this quest. However, we also have the option to go ahead and just outright buy the pellets with meat. That's also a viable option, and something we might do towards the beginning when we start the quest, because when we actually start the quest line for doing the whole gardening thing, we're told to grow some earth plants. So I'll have to use some of the fertilizer for that particular quest. And then right now, we're kind of more interested in resource-based plants that are going to give us things like plant fiber and stuff. And then secondary is for food and stuff. But since the colony isn't a fully functioning thing in this this build of the game, I'm not super hugely concerned about the food stuff. And we haven't actually made anything except for sausages pretty much throughout this entire Let's Play to feed ourselves or keep our stamina up. And even though just even some of the simple dishes actually heal a lot more stamina, it hasn't really been a big problem for us. I mean, sure, we died a few times, and when we use the revival shot, it only gives us a fraction of our health back, but still, it just hasn't been a problem. It's been a non-issue. Again, also because we're using dirt probably for the majority of our buildings in the colony, because, like I said, they turn into brick. Oh, there's aluminum right there. So see how quick that was? Anyway, yeah, we're getting a bunch of dirt here, so dirt is like totally not a problem, and especially because we got a little bit during our previous mining excavation when we got the coal, the copper, and iron. Alright, so we're off and mining aluminum, and that was actually really fast, and we're probably going to spend the majority of the rest of this episode mining aluminum, and I think we're almost got all the major resources we're going to need. So like I said, we're going to probably do a couple things during the next episode in prep work to build our colony, actually maybe manufacture or purchase the colony buildings, and then we'll actually be spending a few episodes building our colony. Sweet. I'm sure a bunch of you have been looking forward to that, and it's definitely one of the cooler aspects of the game. I've been talking about it the entire game pretty much, and we're getting there. We're almost there. Well, I'm just going to spend a few more minutes mining this aluminum, and then I'm going to head off back to Earth Camp, and we'll start the whole fertilizer quest stuff. We want to get that done as soon as we can. As soon as we get the fertilizer gun, though, I can either break off and finish that quest later, or I can try to finish it sooner. But the thing of it is when you start to grow plants, it takes several in-game days, so we may have to sleep to speed up time and stuff. And I don't even know if that works entirely. I don't know if it's like real time that has to pass, or if it's just in-game time. But it does take several days, and we won't want to be sitting around on our hands, you know, twiddling our thumbs kind of thing. So, well, we want to be doing other things while that's going on. So, I could probably do both, I guess, in a sense. Build the colony garden and build the garden needed for that quest. So, work it out when I get there, I guess. You can see that the aluminum is kind of tough to cut through here. But it's definitely a lot better with a gold pickaxe, but you can see it gonna take a little time just kind of forming out. Now you can technically just hold your button down and you will mine a lot faster, but because I don't want to mess up my little system here, I just carefully click each thing one time and move on to the next piece. It's really easy to screw up the whole process by holding down the button. You get that one extra swing and you're like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. The whole idea, though, is to just maintain this 45-degree ramp straight down here. And that makes it just easier to get out. I don't like to have to fast travel to get out of my own freaking mine. Well, it looks like we've got ourselves a decent chunk of this. We're not really going to be using it to build any vehicles or anything. I think this is kind of a decent lightweight material if you want to make your, helicopters out of aluminum or whatever. It's kind of a nice thing to make it out of. Right now, it's like wood is like really light for our craft here, and that's why I'm being able to get away with what I did. Definitely don't want to make it out of steel. It makes it way too heavy, and it probably causes a major misbalance. Aluminum is also used for the flight gear, so we actually didn't have it at the time that we built our particular exploration craft. We just bought all that stuff off of Aturo. But for now, we just need those fertilizer pellets. Well, I think that's all the aluminum we're going to need for now. I think I'm actually going to put a marker here, because this is actually one of those areas that it's kind of hard to spot that you've created a mine. So I like to make little markers just in case we need to come back here and get some more aluminum. So for the first time, we're going to go into build mode and actually build something. The building system in this game can be a little touchy if you don't have a substantial amount of the resource you're building with. Especially if you're trying to build large sections of stuff. It just doesn't seem to want to do it. Now, this is, of course, substantially better than a lot of the other games of this type. Like, you're not building stuff block by block by block. I mean, yeah, that's fine and everything, but, I don't know. I like this style of building, where you can drag big sections of stuff, and, so you don't have to just do the mundane task of, like, placing just next block, next block, next block. It takes too long to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm definitely a big fan of this style of building. Call it creative mode or whatever you like to say, but it does consume resources, so this isn't technically creative mode. I mean, it does cost these materials as you build them. But now that we have our marker up, I would like to put a light on top there, but our plastic supply is kind of low, so maybe something, if we ever come back here, we'll put a light on top there. But now it's time to head back to Earth Camp so that we can fulfill this quest here. As you can see, I get the script for the fertilizer gun and the pitcher and the fertilizer itself. That's something we definitely want. I'm just double checking a couple of these quests to see what we need to fulfill them. We did get the salt from Grady, so I could technically go back to the Martian camp and fulfill Sarah's quest. But for now, we're going to head back to Earth Camp. If you notice behind me, there's actually a large settlement of the indigenous species that doesn't have any quests markers bringing you there. And it's actually substantial. Maybe if we get some time, we'll actually head back over there and check it out. But it's got some cool-looking structures and stuff in it. And it's got like guard towers and all kinds of stuff there. So it doesn't seem like the indigenous species are at a substantial technological level. And it seems like there's some interesting things going on here that aren't explained in the story. Why there's like, well, we haven't seen this stuff, so I can't really talk about it yet. But there is some, there's this higher level crap going on in Maria, that's for sure. One of the things about being in this particular type of craft is we transverse the landscape a little faster than it can load, and that's something you don't really notice when you're on foot, but it's definitely noticeable when you're doing this kind of thing. And that's like one of those things that typically bother me pretty badly about these kind of games, but it's not like super bad in this game. I'm sure some optimization maybe could help that a little bit, but it's like one of those things that kind of drive me nuts about these kind of games, because I don't want to see that kind of stuff. See like how some of the trees like unloaded behind us and they're loading. Yeah. It's okay, I guess. It's not really bad, like I said, in this game than it is in some other games of this type. It's not like it is in, say, that Blockscape game that I played a long time ago. It was atrociously bad in that game. In fact, I haven't checked that game out in a while. I probably should give it another look and see if it's made any progress at all. Alright, well, we've arrived back here at Earth Camp, and I'll probably get this quest started, and that's pretty much going to wrap things up for this episode. Most likely the majority of next episode is going to involve gardening stuff, so we're going to have to get that all worked out and see how all that works. Of course, I know how it works, but I'm going to show you guys how it works, and then we'll be able to build our colony. I would still like to have the ability to build some of these tents. Maybe later on the developer might give us access to more stuff to craft. I also like some of the stuff I'm seeing like at Earth Camp that has little cargo things and stuff. We do, of course, have the storage module for ours, but I would also like to be able to craft those little solar arrays and the repair units and stuff. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys.